Okay, let's talk about your chickens. But more than that, let's talk about a lie that is costing homesteaders a small fortune year after year. In this explainer, we're going to lay out a super simple three-part system, all based on the timeless wisdom of John Seymour, that will completely wipe out your commercial chicken feed bill. I'm talking forever.
Think about it. For a small flock, you are probably spending somewhere around $500 a year on those bags of processed pellets. It's just this constant nagging expense that bleeds out of your bank account every single month. We've all been told it's just part of the deal, right? A necessary cost. But what if it's not?
You know, this quote from Seymour just cuts right to the heart of it. The feed industry has done an amazing job selling us this idea that chickens need some special prepackaged diet. But that's a pretty modern invention. Chickens are born foragers, and your garden, well, that's the all-you-can-eat buffet they were literally designed for. So that's really the big question we're asking today. What if you could just stop? What if you could take that $500 and put it towards something else, or, just keep it? What if you could build a system where your chickens actually feed themselves while making your garden more productive? It's not a fantasy. It's actually how it was done for centuries. Now, to make any of this work, we have to start with a big, fundamental shift in how we think. See, most people treat their chickens like an expense, a liability that eats feed and, in return, gives you some eggs. We are going to completely flip that script. We're going to start treating them as a productive, multi-talented asset. So just take a second and be honest with yourself about your own flock. Right now, are they mainly just costing you money and time, with eggs being the only thing you get back? Or are they active members of your homestead crew, contributing to the health and productivity of the whole operation? The answer to that question, well, it changes everything.
This right here, this is their new resume. Your chickens aren't just egg layers anymore. Nope, they are your new full-time garden crew. They produce some of the best fertilizer on the planet. They devour pests and weed seeds like it's their job, because it is. They till and aerate the soil, and they turn your kitchen scraps into amazing, high-value protein. Honestly, egg production is just one of their many, many valuable outputs.
Okay, so let's get practical. How do we do this? Our first system is the chicken tractor, and this thing is the absolute key to plugging your chickens right into your vegetable garden cycle. It's simple, it's mobile, and it is incredibly effective. Now, a chicken tractor isn't just a cage, it's a tool with two jobs. It's basically a bottomless frame that you plop right down on a garden bed. And what it does is it concentrates all that scratching, pecking, and pooping exactly where you want it. You're basically harnessing their natural chickenness and turning it into free garden prep. It's brilliant. And the process is this beautiful, elegant loop. First, you prep a bed by planting something that grows fast, like a cover crop of rye. Once it's grown up a bit, you move the tractor right on top. The chickens will spend the next couple of weeks just having a party, eating the greens, any weeds, every last insect. Then you just slide the tractor over to the next bed you prepped, and what they leave behind is a perfectly tilled, perfectly fertilized, pest-free bed, all ready for you to plant.
I mean, look at this. This really says it all, doesn't it? All that backbreaking work, weeding, buying and spreading fertilizer, spraying for pests, tilling, it's now been outsourced to your flock. And you know what? They do it better than we can, working tirelessly from sunrise to sunset, all for the price of the food they find.
So, the tractor is amazing for the garden beds. But what about a constant supply of fresh greens for the chickens? That brings us to system number 2, the Bowfor Rotation. This method makes sure your flock has access to pasture almost all year round. And, as a killer bonus, it creates some of the best compost you will ever lay eyes on. The whole setup is just genius. You've got 2 grazing paddocks planted with a nice mix of grass and clover. The chickens graze one down while the other one gets a chance to regrow. And then there's the third area, the scratching pen. That's the engine room. It's a deep litter area where you toss all your kitchen scraps, your garden waste, everything. The rotation couldn't be simpler. They hang out in pen A for a few weeks, then you just open a gate and move them to pen B. While they're working on pen B, pen A gets to recover. And all the while, they have access to that scratching pen, where they spend hours turning all that waste into this amazing insect-rich material. Every so often, you clean out that scratching pen, and bam, you have the perfect starter for a hot compost pile. And let's not just brush past this. Seymour calls the compost magnificent for a reason. This isn't just regular compost. It is supercharged, biologically active black gold that will completely transform your garden's fertility. This isn't just a side benefit, it's a primary product of the whole system. All right, on to our third and final system, which might just be the easiest one of them all. If you have even a couple of fruit trees, your chickens can provide an unbelievable amount of value during the winter, a time when other food sources can get pretty scarce. The concept here is just dead simple. During the dormant winter season, you let your flock have the run of the orchard. They're not just out there stretching their legs, they are on the clock. They're performing critical pest control and fertilization services, and they're doing it all for free. Now, the timing here is absolutely critical. You have to get this part right. You let the flock in after the fall harvest and let them roam all winter. They'll scratch up and eat all those overwintering pest larvae and codling moth pupae. But, and this is a big but, as soon as those buds start to swell in the spring, you've got to move them out, or they will happily eat your entire future harvest. Just look at the beautiful synergy here. You're getting free pest control and free fertilization for your trees. The chickens are getting high-protein insects and leftover fruit to help them get through the winter, and it gives your other grazing pens a much-needed break, so they are ready to just explode with new growth come springtime. It's a win-win-win. Okay, so we've got these three separate systems. But when you start to weave them together through the seasons, that's when the real magic happens. You stop just keeping chickens and you start running this powerful, self-sustaining backyard economy that pays you in fertility, pest control, and of course, free food. So here's how a year might look. In the spring, you're getting your systems built and starting the tractor rotations on your early garden beds. All summer long, the tractor and the Bowfor systems are just running on a continuous loop. Come fall, you keep those rotations going, and then around November, you open the gate to the orchard. All winter, the orchard is their main job site, maybe with a small supplement of whole grains. At every single point in the year, they are working for you and feeding themselves. Let's actually break down the numbers for the first year. Yeah, you'll have some initial setup costs for materials, let's say around $200, and you'll probably still want some supplemental brains, which runs about $264. So your total cash out is $464. But hold on, remember that $500 you were spending? This system starts paying you back immediately. Even if we're conservative and say you only save $200 on commercial feed in your first year, your net cost is only $264. That's a huge saving right out of the gate. But in year 2 and beyond, oh man, the picture gets even better. Your only real recurring cost is that supplemental feed. That means you are saving a net $200 in cold hard cash every single year forever. And that's not even counting the incredible value of the free fertilizer, the free pest control, and the richer, healthier, more delicious eggs you'll be getting. You know, this whole thing really comes down to a shift from just buying inputs to building systems. So the question to ask yourself is this: are you just pouring money into a garden that only grows vegetables? Or are you designing an integrated ecosystem where the soil, the plants, and the animals all work together in a self-sustaining cycle of abundance? That's the difference. And that, right there, is the path to real self-sufficiency.